When Lauren Bennett turned 35, she thought her life would feel more settled. She had a good job as a digital marketing consultant in Austin, Texas, a cozy apartment with a view of the river, and a cat named Pepper who followed her everywhere. Yet, every night when she scrolled through her phone, seeing engagement photos and family vacations, something inside her ached. She had gone on countless dates, joined apps, attended mixers, and even went on a few blind dates set up by friends, but nothing ever clicked. One Sunday afternoon, sitting in a coffee shop with her best friend, Emily, Lauren sighed. "Where are all the good men?" she said, staring out the window at couples walking hand in hand. Emily laughed softly. "Maybe they're not here," she said, half jokingly. "Maybe they're somewhere else, like across the ocean." Lauren chuckled. "What, you mean I should start dating internationally?" "Why not?" Emily said. "You work remotely. You love to travel. Maybe you're just fishing in the wrong pond." That thought stuck with Lauren longer than she expected. That night, she started browsing a travel forum where women shared stories about life and relationships abroad. She read stories of women who had found kindness, respect, and romance in places far from home. They didn't describe fairy tales, just relationships built on sincerity and mutual appreciation. Within weeks, Lauren made a bold decision: she would take a trip to Portugal. It wasn't about finding a man, she told herself, it was about finding herself again. When she landed in Lisbon, she felt alive. The city buzzed with the sound of fado music, the smell of roasted chestnuts, and the golden glow of tiled buildings under the sun. She checked into a small guest house in Alfama, run by a cheerful woman named Sophia, who treated her like family from the moment she arrived. On her second evening, she joined a walking tour through the narrow streets of the old town. The group gathered near a fountain where a guide named Miguel greeted them with a friendly smile. He was in his late 30s, tall, with warm brown eyes and a gentle confidence. "Welcome to my city," he said, his voice calm and inviting. Lauren smiled politely, trying not to read too much into his charm, but as the tour went on, she couldn't help noticing how kind he was to everyone, offering to take photos, waiting for slower walkers, translating small jokes from locals. When she tripped slightly on a cobblestone, he reached out instinctively to steady her. "Careful," he said. "Lisbon streets have a way of surprising people." "Seems like it," she replied, laughing. By the end of the night, the group went to a local cafe for pastries. Miguel sat beside her and asked about her life in Texas. She told him about her work, her cat, and how she wanted to rediscover what truly made her happy. He nodded thoughtfully. "Sometimes, you have to travel far to see yourself clearly." Those words stayed with her. Over the next few days, Lauren found herself signing up for more tours, partly to see the sights, partly because she enjoyed Miguel's company. They explored ancient castles, ocean cliffs, and hidden viewpoints overlooking the city. He never made a move or said anything romantic, yet there was a calm connection between them. One evening, after a day trip to Sintra, they sat at a seaside cafe watching the sunset. "I didn't expect to feel this peaceful," Lauren said. Miguel smiled. "That's what Portugal does, it reminds people to breathe." They talked about life and what it meant to build happiness outside of expectations. Miguel told her about his mother, who raised him alone, and how she always told him that love isn't about searching, it's about recognizing. When Lauren flew back home 2 weeks later, she felt lighter. Miguel hugged her at the airport and said, "Don't make this goodbye forever. Maybe it's just, see you later." Back in Austin, things looked the same but felt different. She worked with more focus, smiled more, and found joy in simple moments: sunlight through her window, laughter with friends, quiet evenings with Pepper. She stayed in touch with Miguel through messages and calls. They talked about books, food, and the rhythm of life. After 6 months, Lauren decided to visit again. She didn't go as a tourist this time, she went as someone ready to embrace a new chapter. When she met Miguel at the airport, he held a small bouquet of daisies, and his eyes said everything words didn't need to. Their relationship grew naturally, no drama, no games. It wasn't a whirlwind romance, but a steady warmth that felt real. They took trips together, met each other's families, and learned how to balance 2 lives from different worlds. Lauren often reflected on how she almost gave up on love, thinking all good men were gone. But sometimes, good men exist in places you haven't looked yet, places that teach you not just how to love someone, but how to love life again. 2 years later, she and Miguel married quietly on a hill overlooking the ocean. Emily flew in for the ceremony and whispered, "Guess you really did find the good men, just not here." Lauren smiled. "Sometimes, you have to travel to find home." As the waves crashed below and laughter filled the air, Lauren realized she hadn't just found love abroad, she'd found herself.